The crimes of Padro Almaro. Setting Mexico 2002. A bus is flagged down by a woman next to a car that appears to have broken down, but it's a con. Once the doors open to the bus, she rushes in and takes valuables off all the people who are on the bus, and then they scatter quickly. The bus then continues to a small town. On the bus is a young man. He shares a conversation with an elderly man before the hold-up, and then offers him some cash as they get off the bus, because the man's lost valuables to the thieves. We then follow him as he makes his way to the church. His name is Father Almaro, and he's very young, and he's just recently been ordained. Service, when he's giving the sacrament of Christ, the biscuit, a young girl, Amelia, who seems to be a significant character in this, takes her biscuit, and we'd seen her earlier with a young man they seem to be quite affectionate to each other. So there's going to be, I suggest, the temptation that Father Almaro may well be tempted with. Amelia gets to the opportunity to take Father Almaro to a construction site which is building a sort of hospital, an orphanage, etc., etc. And as they walk around, it appears that she is quite attracted to him, and she fakes a sort of stumble, and he stabilises her, and then she kisses his hand, and there's clearly going to be an issue for the father with this young girl. The plot thickens when Amelia takes confession with Father Almaro, and she shares with him her sensuality, her joy at touching herself, getting herself sort of worked up. A meeting of the clergy, including Almaro and three others, to discuss one priest who is being accused of being involved with guerrillas, although he claims drug traffickers who have infiltrated his community, and he's trying to have some influence. Prior to that, there's also a brief discussion on the impact of celibacy on the priesthood. So there's some juicy content here. At that meeting, there's also a hint that the aging father who's employed Almaro may well be receiving corrupt money from organised crime. Father Benito, the aging priest, who's quite strict, he's also involved in some dirty business, and he keeps a mistress, San Juanera, who's the mother of Amelia, and now that Almaro is staying at the house, Father Benito attempts to cool it with his mistress, which has some impact, of course, and Amelia gives up her boyfriend he goes to work for a newspaper, does some research into the corruption, then is forced to leave because of pressure from the organised crime syndicate. He blames Father Almaro, lays into him on the street. The girlfriend rejects him. The plot thickens with regard to the corruption, the organised crime funding the development. Father Almaro finds a room in a house where he can have his evil way with the girl Amelia, and we see some vivid sex scenes. He tells all that it's on the pretense of preparing her to become a nun. Amelia learns a hard lesson as Almaro chooses his vocation, his career, above his love for her. She certainly learns a hard lesson about how far love goes for men. Then a set of circumstances rolling into place that has great impact on all. Firstly, Father Benito goes to where Almaro and Amelia are fornicating, finds them both there, puts two and two together. There's then a confrontation between Almaro and Benito. Almaro accusing him of adultery with Amelia's mother. We then have a scene where Amelia tells Almaro that she's pregnant. He then considers moving to another place, possibly away from the village. There's then a further confrontation between the two priests, which leads to Benito having a heart attack. Father Almaro then starts to tread the path towards an abortion with Amelia, makes tentative inquiries. Alongside that, he visits Father Natalia and tells him that he's been excommunicated, and Father Benito is recovering and is due back. Father Almaro is full of despair and guilt. The abortion doesn't go to plan. She's hemorrhaging. He rushes in and puts her in his ute to take her to the hospital.